Right, number 12. So the cat returns. So to give a little bit of context about this movie, it's pretty much the most meta thing that Ghibli ever made. So this movie is the story, right? Created by a character inside of another Ghibli movie, which is like upper on the list, right? And this character is like a little girl that's writing the story of this cat. Now, in that movie, the story that she wrote is very different from the movie that we see in this one, from the story in this one, right? But it does have the same character. So you can interpret this movie two ways. Either this is like her perfected story of that story that she was writing. Either like you could say this is meta and she wrote the story herself, if you want to see it like that, or you could just not see it like that and it's like it's just a Ghibli story, it's just a Ghibli, something Ghibli made, right? But I really like looking at it from the meta perspective of a little girl like in another Ghibli movie wrote this and then it turned into a movie in Ghibli. Like, I don't know, it's like Ghibli's little mini cinematic universe. I love it. It's very cute. Um, so I think that's the most interesting thing about this movie, right? To give a little bit of perspective, if you want to look at it from the lenses of a child who wrote this, I think that this movie is very impressive for a little girl to have written this entire story down, right? And it's long enough that it was able to turn into a movie. I think that's very cool. Like, it's very creative, it's colorful, it has a very cutesy world, many cutesy cats, and I like it for what it is, right? It's a very cute, innocent child story or movie, right? However, I feel like its weak size would be that, like, it's an hour and 15 minutes, right? But it really feels dragged down on the final third or fourth. Especially, there's like a chasing scene going on in this movie, and I feel like that part is really dragged out. Very kind of tedious, very kind of boring, so I wasn't like really into it. The first 2/3 of the movie I really enjoyed, but the last third was like, it's not that good. So even though it's a very cutesy movie for kids, it's not all that great for adults, right? It doesn't have anything that would catch an adult's mind. So what is this movie about? It's about like a girl who saves the life of a cat who ended up being a prince, right? And because of that, like the king of the cats, he wants the girl, the human girl, to turn into a cat to marry the prince. And then like a whole fiasco starts from there. And because of that fiasco, like the cat king, he wants the girl to marry like the cat prince, and like it turns into this crazy adventure chase thingamabob. So it's not like super original, I guess. I feel like I've seen this before somewhere else. I just can't really recall where. But it's not particularly like a trope, or it's not something that's super common, like this kind of trope story thingy, so it's fine. Like a kid made it, and I think it's very cute and original for what it is, for a child's thingy, like if you want to see in that perspective. However, if we're going to be realistic, adults wrote this, right? And they wrote this for kids, so for kids it's good, but overall my thoughts on it is that it doesn't really have value for you if you're an adult, or unless you're an adult who really loves cute cats and you just want to see a movie with cute cats doing cute cat things and cool things. Like the main character is the Baron, right? And this Baron is like trying to protect a human girl, like in this cat world, right? It's like, no, she doesn't have to marry this dude. Like, what the fuck? This is weird, right? It's interesting in that sense, but unless you're a person that loves cutesy stuff, I don't really recommend this movie all that much. But I like it for what it is.